Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Want to start off source by giving no praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Kakadash, the belongs to Apostle of Great Most and honors to brothers doing the work, the most in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh's real name, with whom the word ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, or Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh, and the Son's true name is Yahushua. And when we pray Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Ba meaning in, Her meaning then, Shah meaning name, so Yahweh, the name of Yahushua. This is a real quick one. Something I saw earlier on in the day, and that is it's from the you can't see it there, Digital Pound Foundation, right? It basically says the governor of Zimbabwean central bank, John Mangudia, recently said they have developed a roadmap for adoption of CBDC in Zimbabwe. He also revealed that two fintech startups had been admitted into the central bank's regulatory sandbox, right? And I found this very interesting because I'm legally, rather, I was born in that country, Zimbabwe, right? And I having been there, in around about what 2020, right, just before the CV hit off, right, and seeing the state of the country, right, it's very much a thing of this, of all things that the country need, this is where the country's going to invest in its in its next thing. And you think about your Jamaica, that was one of the first, right? It wasn't, I mean, China was one of the first in truth, but it wasn't any of these large Western countries that were talking about really, going into these CBDCs, etc., etc. Yeah, they've kind of floated on it, right? Kind of been like, oh, we'll think about it, whatever, what have you, right? But you're seeing all these small major, some of these small countries going into it, and what's that basically showing you? That's showing you that this man right, is very much in control of the world, right? Because in fact, let me retract that previous statement, because I believe the EU has been working on a CBDC themselves for a while, right? But it's Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked; he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? So the whole earth is in this man's hand. The Lord gave him power over the earth, right? There ain't no country where you can look and say, see, this is an independent country. They're away, from Esau's grasp, right? Whether it's the Russian Edomite, the American Edomite, the European Edomite, all of these nations are under the hand of these Edomites, right? One way or another. And, primarily the small hats, the so-called, Rothschilds and Rockefellers or whatever, they're the ones that truly have rule over this earth, right? Because once again, man, hey, when I went to Zim, man, the roads weren't done. Nothing, like, infrastructure was practically non-existent, right? Your tap water, it may run, it may not run. The electric would get cut off. So how are you going to be investing in CBDCs in a country where the electric gets cut off? Right? You see it there. Right, so this is proof that this man's actually, got an agenda that he's trying to fulfill, right? I believe this is Ephesians, one of my favorites at the moment. Oops. Oh, no, it's not in. No, it's actually something else. This is 1 Thessalonians 5. I'll start from the top, actually, right? So, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, right? And nowadays, we are kind of at the point where it's like, yo, we shouldn't really be telling you what the MOTB is. You should know, right? You should be seeing it by now. It should be plainly obvious, right? That it is, the C-hip, right? It's for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So what? We must watch and we must pray, right? That's Mark 13:33, right? Watch and pray. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? Because when that baby's ready to come out, man, she can't, that woman ain't going to be able to hold it in. Just the same way with this destruction. When this destruction's ready, they ain't no stopping it, right? It says, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. So for us, we're not in darkness, right? We can see, when we see articles like this, when we see, everything that's happening in the world, the turmoil in the world, right? For us, we see these things like, oh shit, okay, cool, all right, so we're getting closer, right? Because, no one knows when the Lord is coming back, right? But in this point here about a thief, right, we were given signs, right? Just like, let's say there's an inside man in a particular plan, right? He gets told, hey, by the way, look, when you hear, you know when you see the lights turn off 3 times, then yeah, the raid is about to begin. And it's the same thing with us. When we see these prophecies come to pass, we know that the Lord is about to come back, and that is it. Right, the signs are all there, and there's several scriptures on that. All right. So this is verse 4 again. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. Right, because the Lord, through His mercies, has opened up our eyes. The others, on the other hand, they're still thinking about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, right? They're thinking about their great-great-grandchildren. They're thinking about the legacy that they're going to leave here on this earth. Some see that, things are getting bad, but they think that there's another way after this. But that is not the case, right? This is it for this kingdom, right? And this is the end of the world, and after it comes the kingdom of Israel. Verse 5 says, ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness, right? Because once again, the Lord has opened up our eyes, right? It says, therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober, right? And that's it. Through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem El Shai, we're watchers. The Lord has set us up to be watchmen, right? And in that lot, we come out, we say, we read these articles, we find these, rather, Spirit leads us to these articles, right? And which God Spirit makes us do videos on these particular things, okay? It says, for they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night, right? Yeah, I'm just saying it kind of goes on a little bit. Right, but let me grab this. Like I said, one of my favorites at the moment, bringing out all the time, is Ephesians 5:14, right, from 14, right? It's wherefore he saith, awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Mashiach shall give thee light, right? So all of these individuals that are still asleep, right, you need to wake up, man. Obviously, we understand what it is. Obviously, we understand what it is, right? That automates the Most High, that opens your eyes and closes your eyes, right? But still, right? It's one of them ones, you got that scene in what is this film again? They Live, where where the so-called white characters fighting Jake, right? Trying to make him put on the glasses. But this is it. We understand now, right? That those that aren't meant to get it ain't gonna get it. Right, this is Romans 13:11. So in that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe, right? And our salvation's near. Right? Because when we see this, right, when we read about Jamaica, when we read about all of these poor nations, right, going in and investing in CBDCs, right, we understand exactly that this man is actually getting ready to implement, right, Revelation 13:16, right, and as it says there, on a global scale. Okay, once again, there's like, I remember like my granddad saying it when he picked me up at the airport, right? He was like, look, there's one good road out in Zimbabwe, and it's true. The roads have got the potholes everywhere. You've got, like I said, you've got electricity issues. Yet you're gonna be doing a CBDC in a country with electrical issues, right? The net, which call every now and then, I gotta ring up my mother. Hey, mom, how are you doing? This, that, and the other. The network's always dropping. Yet they're working on a CBDC. So what's that showing you? That's showing you that Revelation 13:16 infrastructure is being put in place, right? Because it's gonna be upon all the world. right? That question of, are you going to take the MOTB, is going to be upon all the world. Just the same way as, are you going to take the venom juice? That was upon all the world, right? Because basically everyone that not everyone, but the family that I speak to in Zim, they got the juice. And you think, and no one they know even died like that. They heard, oh, so and so in South Africa got it and died. Oh, this one person got it and died. But hardly anyone, even got anything. But yet they got the juicy juice. What's the point I'm making? When the MOTB gets pushed, they go and take it. Right? And this is that infrastructure. This is that game plan. This is what Esau's been working on, right, patiently. Right, it's back in Ephesians 5, right? See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. So we're in evil times, right? The Lord's putting the Spirit on this man to start wrapping things up, all right? And then we pray that the Lord, puts a Spirit on him and, right, enforces his hand to move things forward, because this is a wicked world, man. This is a wicked world. You sit down and you consider what's actually going on in this world, and that makes you sick, right? So yeah, it's a little bit longer than I expected it to be, but because I said, it's just like, for me, it struck me. But as always, Lord's will always edifying. Till next time, we say shalom.